The one thing I need to thank my Creator for is that I have learned that when you develop a closer spiritual relationship with your Creator, you start to develop certain emotional analytical skills. You're able to start to peep people out. You start to look at folks differently that are in your circle, and you start to decide whether or not you need to have that person around you because you're thinking differently and you're on a different trajectory as far as your life is concerned. And you need to find out if these people are going to provide you with the support and the energy that you need to keep this thing going. Now, there's one type of person I want to talk about. Now, me being a female, I've dealt with this. I'm sure, guys, you probably dealt with it as well. Let me know in the comments if you come across this type of person. Now, I think a while back, I know for a fact that I did an audio and I spoke about someone who got overly emotional about a breakup that she was going through, and they decided they were going to hang up on me when I started trying to talk to them rationally about their current situation to kind of help them accept the fact that things aren't cool right now. Well, here's part two to that. I found out very recently, even though the gentleman moved on, he must have been just taking a break. Apparently, he's just not. I gave him too much credit for standing on his ground and being intelligent because he got back with this lady. Now, why he got back with her, I don't know. Based on her behavior, she probably just pushed him. He's probably one of those type of guys that he's just easily pushed around by women. Women are his weakness. He could be one of those guys. I don't know him very well. But anyway, she wound up getting a guy back. Well, lo and behold, the reason why I found out about this, because I mentioned to you guys before that ain't nobody going to hang up on me. So, of course, when that happened, I went ahead and I deleted the number from my phone. So if it ever came up, I think I would have an idea who it was, but I didn't. And any other contact, I kind of left it alone because I said to myself, if you're going to be all that wind up over somebody who's not your husband, then and you as old as you are, then I don't need you because I ain't got time to be sitting up here having conversations every time we get together. We get together for a few hours, and 70-80% of the time all you talking about is your man. And you aren't talking about all the other things in your life that you could be addressing and that you could be handling. Yeah, I've come across women like this in my life. I used to be one of them back in the day until I got sick and tired of being empty-handed. Where you come across this person, they blow your mind, that's great and that's wonderful. You got a little something going on in your life, but you could spend a little bit more time trying to level up. But this person has got you so enamored, you're just dropping everything for them and you're just running. Any little thing they need. You're taking time, valuable time that you could spend working on that project, learning the additional training for your job, studying for that class. You're spending that extra time with them over something that you could have just put off till later on till you got through doing what you wanted to do. But you want to make yourself available to this person because you want to give them the confidence in knowing that you'll always be there. Okay, I understand that on a certain level. But the thing is that if you are building a life for yourself, you should have time planned out to improve your situation. The majority of these women that I ran into that do that, who drop their things, they barely have their basics together. Barely. And when I mean barely, some of them are probably still staying with other people because they can't afford to live on their own. So what they should be doing is spending their free time trying to get that secure. Some of them don't even have full-time jobs where they can even qualify to get a place of their own. But then they're spending all the extra part-time hanging around this person. And a lot of them are purposefully doing that because they're hoping if they get involved with this person and things go well, they won't have to level up there on their own. They'll get with this person, things will be great. Then they'll get married, and then they're like, of course, the other person can take up the slack for me. That's what a lot of them are thinking. I know it seems devious, but I'm telling the truth here. So a lot of these women who spend all their time talking about their man or talking about their girlfriend, and that's all they talk about, when you know for a fact they could be doing other things to improve their station in life, you need to be careful and stay away from them. Because what they're doing is they're idolizing that partner. And I've told you on more than one occasion, idolatry is a sin. Anything that you put the majority of your attention on that takes you away from taking care of your basics and takes you away from leveling up your own personal situation that existed before this person came along, that's a problem, and that's a red flag. Because that means if that person can come along and take your breath away, someone else who looks better, got more money, and has more time can come along and take you away from that person. And while you're getting taken and taken and swept and taken and swept and taken, you still ain't improved your situation on your own. And the funny part about it is these people that you're idolizing, they see your behavior. And they'll sit there and they'll use it up for as much as they get. And they'll tolerate it as much as they can. But when they see a year or two down the line and they're thinking to themselves, what am I going to do with you? They'll hold off on making a commitment because they see that you haven't done anything to prove yourself. Now, they've already improved themselves partially because of the fact that this woman who's dropping everything for him, she done turn around and leveled him or her up, but didn't do any work on themselves. So they feel this resentment, and all of a sudden they want to blame that person. No, blame yourself. But I'm just saying, ladies, if you have that type of person in your life, be careful of them because they idolize their partner. They idolize somebody. This person could have been on this earth for 30, 40 years, and they meet that somebody and become so enamored because it's so close to perfect to what they want. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with spending time with your mate. But the thing is that if you know there are certain things you need to address in your personal life in order to build your future, I don't see what the problem is with you juggling both at the same time. These people don't know how to juggle. They don't know how to juggle and balance things out. They don't know what harmony is. And they're seeking that harmony and stability in somebody else. And the minute that somebody gives them a little bit more attention, they're thrusting all that emotional responsibility on that person. And 9 times out of 10, that person is not going to make them a permanent part of their life. Because they're already looking at them like, oh God, they're too much in me. Don't get me wrong, they like the attention. But then they're like, but what else? So back to the story, I found out the update the other day because I got this message on my phone. Of course, I didn't recognize the number. It went to voicemail. I usually wait a couple of days till I check my voicemails because for the most part, people that I know, they'll send me a text or something. So I know it's probably telemarketers or whatever. So I listened to this message, and this person is just super happy over the moon. And the first thing she wanted to do was apologize for hanging up on me. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, that's nice. But then when she went on to the conversation about, I understand how you felt why you felt the way you felt, but I did get them back and da da da. And God this and the Lord that and blah, 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 blah. And I miss hanging around you and everything else. And I mean, the message went on for about 2-3 minutes. So something told me, okay, you've heard the message. Now go ahead and hang up the phone and think for a second. And average person would be like, at least they came back and apologized. Go ahead and give them another chance. I'm going to tell you why. We got to learn how to ask why and analyze things. Think about how that person behaved before all this shit went down. This person idolized that person. You come and give me and apologize because you got what the fuck you wanted. If you had not gotten what you wanted, I would not have gotten an apology. So therefore, the apology is not coming from the place of, okay, I was wrong and out of pocket. It's coming from the place of, I got what I wanted. And not only did I get what I wanted to call back and tell you, I was right and da 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 da. God bless you and move on. But we can't hang like we hung before because that tells me right there that you'll turn and throw a chick over in a minute over a guy. I ain't got time for it. That's school-age bullshit. But let me know in the comments whether or not you guys have dealt with this from a man. Because, I'm not a man, of course, but I always like to see what the male perspective is on this. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys to it. Peace.